Well, good day, my dear 8th class students. I am fortunate to teach you another lesson in English for you. It's a very interesting lesson. This is in Unit 1. In the Unit 1, you have family. It is related to the whole Unit 1 is related to family. So in this, I already taught you the first portion. The first one is a tattered blanket. I think if you remember, that's a story of an old woman and her son working in a different place and all that. Okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Again, that one is also a family-related lesson. This one is a letter here, the letter to a friend. So there are two friends who are Ramesh and Suresh. And Ramesh, he moves to Hyderabad. He moves to Hyderabad after completing his high school and engineering and all that. He works in Hyderabad. His wife also works in Hyderabad. He works in Hyderabad. His wife works in Hyderabad. They have one baby. Suresh is in a village. So Ramesh writes a letter to Suresh recollecting some of the things that they both did in their childhood days. This is, why it happened? Because Ramesh, being in Hyderabad, in a flat, so busy with the office work, his wife and himself. They both are employed, so office busy, and he lost the village life and also the childhood days he was recollecting. Ramesh is recollecting all the childhood days, how Ramesh and Suresh enjoyed together. So that is the letter here. Of course, at the end, Ramesh asked Suresh to come and visit him, but the main gist of the letter is to recollect how they enjoyed in their childhood days in the villages. Okay? So, I'm going to read the lesson. The lesson again is a letter written by Ramesh to his friend Suresh. Ramesh lives in Hyderabad, so there are only two characters here. Of course, his wife and Ramesh's wife and Ramesh's baby, that they are also there. But basically, this one is between Ramesh and Suresh. So, this letter explains how both Ramesh and Suresh enjoyed their childhood days. So, it looks like Ramesh misses all those days. So, he recollects, and at least by recollection, talking to his friend or writing to his friend, he will feel happy. That's what the gist of the letter is, gist of the lesson is. So this is basically, it says, a letter to a friend. Ramesh writes a letter to his friend Suresh. Now, I'm going to read the lesson, and I want you to follow how I am pronouncing the words. And like I said, in Sujana, the practice is every student should read the lesson at least 7 times. 3 maybe with this teacher, 4 alone by themselves. And reading is reading with comprehension. So that means not just mere reading. If you complete one sentence and move to the next sentence, that means you understood the previous sentence completely. That is a must. So if you follow that practice, if you are sincere in your attempt to understand the previous, whatever you read, all the questions are there. They are just a piece of cake. You can easily answer them, no problem. You can easily answer the questions, okay? And of course, once the lesson is over, maybe I will combine 2 or 3 lessons and teach you the grammar. The grammar, all the tenses, degrees of comparison, active voice, passive voice, like that. Okay, they are not difficult. They are not difficult. If you, first of all, understand the lessons very well, we use the sentences there to teach you the English grammar. Okay? Without much delay, I would like to move on to the lesson. So basically, this is a letter written by Ramesh, who lives in Hyderabad, to his friend, childhood friend, Suresh. Basically, he explains, he recollects, Ramesh recollects what they both enjoyed in the childhood days. Now I am going to read that and you can easily follow that. It's not a big deal. And I'm sure you have your friends living in Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore. I'm sure they feel the same way. So there are different lifestyles, but wherever you go, your childhood memories, they're all, you have to treasure them. Also some people say you have to cherish them. CHERISH. Anandinchadam veru, cherish vedam. Completely. It's very important that you do that. And that helps you when you are in trouble, when you are in this my 2 cents worth of advice. All those memories, all those childhood good memories, they help you to recover from the present day depressions. I do that. When I think of some problem, I will recollect what happened in my childhood days, how I enjoyed with my friends. And even though there are some difficulties in my childhood days, still I have some good recollections. Okay, now let me move on to the lesson. I will read the lesson and you can easily follow it, no problem. There will not be many difficult words here. Okay, here a letter to a friend, Hyderabad, 12/11/2012. Okay, dear Suresh, like I said, Ramesh is writing the letter, he is addressing to Suresh. This is Ramesh. I apologize for not meeting you during your visit to Hyderabad last week. So what happened is Suresh came to Hyderabad the previous week, but Ramesh could not meet because of some other reasons. So that's what he is saying. This is Ramesh. I apologize for not meeting you during your visit to Hyderabad last week. I hope you understood. Unfortunately, I had a meeting in my office. I remember how we enjoyed our childhood days in Manikonda village. They are from where? Manikonda village. Every day we played together in our garden. These are all simple sentences. They are not very difficult for you. Every day we played together in our garden. Our family was very big. There were 12 members in our family. I remember how we played in the moonlight. I can also remember in my childhood days how Sankranti time particularly we used to play outside in the night, moonlight, maybe till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Those are very, very, very memorable days. Our grandma used to give us fruits and biscuits. Grandmother Chilata. Our grandpa used to tell us fairy tales about the princess, warriors, and village boys. వీళ్ళందరి గురించి కథలు చెప్పేవారు తాతయ్య కథలు చెప్పేవారు. మా అమ్మ గ్రాండ్ మా అంటే నాన్నమ్మ అవ్వచ్చు, అమ్మమ్మ అవ్వచ్చు. వీళ్ళిద్దరిలోనూ ఏం చేసేవారు? ఫ్రూట్స్ బిస్కెట్స్ ఆవిడ ఇచ్చేది. గ్రాండ్ పా ఇచ్చేవాడు. ఈస్ టు టెల్ ఆల్ ది స్టోరీస్, ఫెయిరీ టేల్స్ అంటే సరదాగా ఆనందంగా ఉన్నటువంటి టోల్ స్టోరీస్ and about the princess, warriors and village boys. Now I am working at Microsoft, a software company in Hyderabad as a computer programmer. Computer programmer ga nenu Hyderabad lo Microsoft company lo pani chestunanu. Programmer. I am married and we have a child. Iddaru pellayi. My child works at Dell, Hyderabad as a system analyst. Dell is another company. We have a Dell we used to have one Dell computer. I think we have. And another Microsoft, of course, is there in all of our computers. That's a programming device. Okay. I am married and I will have a child. My wife works at Dell, Hyderabad as a system analyst. You know, the city life is quite busy. The city life is quite busy. We start in the morning, leave our child at the baby care center and come back in the evening with faded faces. We start in the morning, leaving our child. But iddru pani chestunaru. Akkada naannammalu ammammalu evaru leru akkada. So what happens to the child? They leave it at day care center. And during the daytime, there is a big building. It's like a small school where you can leave your child and they actually feed the child, keep the child, busy, and also certain time lo baby padukodam, baby bhojanam pettam ani chestar. That's why it is called day care center. Care ani jaartha తీసుకుంటారు. Day ante during the daytime anamata. For that, of course, you have to pay some money there and come back in the evening with faded faces. We hardly find time to sit together because Hyderabad, by the time you leave the office and come to home, you are tired. మరి ట్రాఫిక్ జాములు ఇవి అవి అని అనమాట. ఓకే. హౌ డిస్గస్టింగ్. వీ వర్క్ విత్ కంప్యూటర్స్, థింక్ లైక్ కంప్యూటర్స్ అండ్ లివ్ లైక్ కంప్యూటర్స్. ఇద్దరు కంప్యూటర్స్ వీళ్ళే. వీ హ్యావ్ ఫర్గాటన్ అవర్ ఫ్యామిలీ. మా ఫ్యామిలీని మేము మర్చిపోవడానికి అంత బిజీగా అయిపోయాం. ఐ రిమెంబర్ హౌ వీ ప్లేడ్ గిల్లీ దండా, హైడ్ అండ్ సీక్ అండ్ కబడ్డీ. Gilli Danda, and I don't know the name of what that game is, but hide and seek me tells in the kabaddi, even in the games. We went for swimming in our local tank every Sunday. Every Sunday, manam local tank alli swim chesevallam. Here we live in an apartment where there is no room to play. The apartment Hyderabad lo chinna apartment flat తీసుకున్నారు. So there is not much room to play. Our flat is our world. వాళ్ళకి ఇంకేంటి ఆ ఫ్లాటే మార్నింగ్ రాత్రి పడుకోవడం, తెల్లవారు లేవడం, వెళ్ళిపోవడం, వచ్చడం, చాలా అంతే. వరల్డ్. అవర్ ఫ్లాట్ ఈజ్ అవర్ వరల్డ్, జస్ట్ లైక్ ఏ వెల్ ఫర్ ఏ ఫ్రాడ్. ఫ్రాడ్కి వెల్ అలాంటిదో అలా అనమాట. మనం కూపస్థమండుకు అంటాం. అంటే వెళ్ళకి ఏమనుకుంటుంది, వెళ్ళలోని ఉన్న కప్ప ఏమనుకుంటుంది, అదే ప్రపంచం అనుకుంటుంది. అదేవిధంగా దీస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ లివింగ్ ఇన్ ఏ ఫ్లాట్. It's just like a well for a fraud. How happy we were in our school. మనం ఆనందంగా ఉండేవాళ్ళం. We used to sit in the same row, did all the work together and took part in the events. Events అంటే స్కూల్లో జరిగే ఈవెంట్స్ అన్నింటిన్నాం. I remember how Padmanabhaya sir, our class teacher, appreciated us మనిద్దరిని when we got the first prize at district science fair. డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ సైన్స్ ఫెయిర్లో మనకి ఫస్ట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆయన పద్మనాభయ్య గారు సైన్స్ టీచర్ ఎంత మనకి కాంప్లిమెంట్ చేశారో. అవర్ టూర్ టు శ్రీశైలం వాజ్ వెరీ మెమరబుల్. శ్రీశైలం వెళ్ళారు, అది మెమరబుల్. స్టిల్ ఐ రిమెంబర్ ది గ్రీన్ హిల్ ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ ట్రీస్ దట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ టచ్డ్ ది స్కై. ఐ రిమెంబర్ ద రోరింగ్ ఆఫ్ కృష్ణా రివర్ అట్ ది డ్యామ్ దగ్గర వాళ్ళ గేట్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే సౌండ్ వస్తుంది, అదనమాట రోరింగ్ అంటే. అది అంటే బాగా హై సౌండ్ ఏమో రోరింగ్ అన్నాడు. ఇక్కడ దర్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ హియర్. ఇక్కడ ఏం లేదు, హైదరాబాద్ లేదు. ఐ వండర్ అట్ మై చైల్డ్స్ సైలెంట్. బట్ మమ్మల్ని జస్ట్ వండర్ ఏమో there is nothing here. I wonder at my child's silence. He always sits in front of the computer and plays games never caring for anyone. That's what he is doing, his child. I remember the happy moment when our uncle visited us. He brought toys and fruits for us. Our aunt brought me a new dress for Dasara. How we enjoyed the Deepavali. Still, I hear the sound of crackers. I can see the rocket flying into the sky, making the night full of light. It's Tara Jawalan, you know. Where are those days? Those days are gone. My child doesn't know his uncle